been in the design business for 10 plus years, and I've realized that designers do not know how to talk. They don't know how to talk in social settings. They don't know how to talk with stakeholders. So guess what? Today, we will be talking about how to communicate with stakeholders. And mind you, one of the things is that I treat them like people. They are of flesh and blood, like me, like you, so I'm not afraid of them. And you shouldn't be either. These stakeholders have their own bosses and have their own goals, so you have to align your design with basically them. Let's start. If you want your designs to get buy-ins, then you have to improve your communication skills. This is the most important aspect of being a designer, and the one that gets the least attention. I mean, nothing else matters if your business talk is weak. Now, here's the truth about communicating with stakeholders that might surprise you. Most of the top designers that you look up to talk less about design and more about business. A lot of us think if my design looks good, people will love it. Yeah, no, I mean, I wish, but it doesn't happen like that. I can't tell you how many times I walked into a meeting with the prettiest Figma file just to watch it crash and burn because I didn't explain it in the right way. Stakeholders don't see your shiny gradients or your perfect pixels. They're thinking about money, timelines, risk, how many customers will stick around, and if their boss is going to yell at them at the end. So if you don't talk about those things, your design is dead on arrival. So I had to learn communication isn't some soft skill. It's the skill. Honestly, I think design happens twice. Once in Figma and once in the meeting room. Here's the shift that changed everything for me. I don't go into meetings to defend my design like I'm on trial. I go in to translate it into their language. I mean, these stakeholders, they're not against me. They're just focused on different things. They care about budgets, they care about deadlines, they don't care that my padding on a button is 8 pixels or 12 pixels. So my job isn't to convince them that I am right, it's to show them how my design makes their life easier, their risks smaller, and their results better. Here's the thing, the meeting is won or lost even before it started. I do 3 things before I even open Figma in front of them. I get clear on what I want. Am I asking them to approve something or just give feedback? Because if I'm not clear, the meeting becomes kind of a free-for-all. So think about what they care about. Product managers care about speed. Marketing cares about conversion. Developers care about feasibility. And the CFO, I mean, they care about money, right? You should always build a simple story. Don't just go in and say, here's 20 screens, but rather start with what's the problem? Why does it matter? What are the options? And why is this one the best one? Here's my golden rule. Start with the problem, not the pixels. If I just screen share my Figma file and walk through every little detail, they're gone in 2 minutes. Instead, I start with something like, right now, customers are dropping off at checkout. That's costing us money every single month. What I'm about to show you today is a design that makes checkout faster and easier for people to finish. And boom, they are listening because it's about their goals, not pixels. When I'm explaining, I follow a super simple flow. Problem first, remind them what's broken. Evidence, show a bit of data. A customer quote. Anything that makes it real. Options, mention you explored more than one idea, because that shows that you're not just stubborn, but that you actually thought about this. Then give them recommendations. Here's the one I think works best. And let me tell you why. Also, talk about impact. If we do this, we can get X amount of more signups or save Y amount of dev time. Short, simple, and always tie it back to the business. And I mean, yeah, pushback always happens. There's always that little Karen basically that says, I don't like that color, or can't we make it more like some other app, or this feels a bit risky to me. Old me, I would get defensive. Now I just stay calm and ask questions. Questions like, can you tell me more about what feels off for you? Because sometimes I don't like the color, it's not about the color at all. It's about whether it feels on brand. Or maybe it's about accessibility. You only find that out by actually asking. And then I bring it back to the problem we're solving. I might say, I get that. The reason I chose this direction is because it cuts down on user confusion, which helps us keep people moving. Do you want me to show you what the alternative could mean in terms of drop-off? That way, it's not me versus them, it's us versus the problem. And I'll give you a weird little trick, and it's called silence. Let me explain. When I finish explaining, I stop talking. Even if it feels awkward, because if you keep rambling, you'll talk past the moment they were ready to agree. But if you pause, they start feeling the silence with what they're actually and really thinking. I can't tell you how many times silence has gotten me the buy-in faster than more words. One meeting doesn't make or break it. Trust builds slowly. So every time I talk to stakeholders, I want to show them three things. I want to show them that I understand the business. I listen when they push back. I actually deliver. And do that enough times and people just start trusting you. And once they trust you, they stop nitpicking your designs as much. Let me give you a story. I worked on a home maintenance app. The client wanted a chatbot flow for requesting services, and stakeholders were super skeptical. They were saying things like, nobody likes chatbots. Now, if I just showed them a chatbot UI, they would have shut it down instantly. So instead, I said, right now, it takes customers 6 clicks across 3 different pages to book a service. People are bailing halfway because they're bored. With a chat style flow, we can get it down to 3 quick steps. Faster for them and fewer drop-offs for us. Then I showed 2 prototypes, 1 traditional form and 1 chatbot. And I added, in our small test amongst friends, I didn't say amongst friends, but in our small test, the chatbot cut frustration by 40%. People said it felt easier and more personal. And basically, the CFO just heard fewer drop-offs. The product manager heard faster booking. Everyone nodded. The chatbot got the green light. It wasn't about the cool design. It was about the business outcome and the business win. So instead of saying, this design looks cleaner, I would say, this design makes it easier to scan and decide quickly. Instead of, I like this layout, I say, this layout helps people find what they need faster, which keeps them from dropping off. Instead of, this is a cool feature, I would say, this feature helps retention by giving people a reason to come back. See the difference? It's not designer talk, it's business talk. Here's one last thing. I never end with, so what are your thoughts? That's too vague. Instead, I say, what I need from you today is approval to move forward with option B. And if they're not ready, I ask them again, what else do you need to feel confident saying yes? That way, I know exactly what to do next. So yeah, how do I actually talk to stakeholders? I prep by thinking about what they care about. I frame designs around business problems, not just pixels. I handle any pushback with questions and just tie everything back to the outcome. And over time, maybe the most important thing, is I build trust. At the end of the day, design buy-in has almost nothing to do with perfect colors or fonts. It has everything to do with how well you explained it to the stakeholders. So if you're a designer who wants to get your work actually shipped, then stop obsessing over tiny Figma details and start practicing how to talk. Because honestly, your business talk is your most powerful design tool. If you found this helpful, subscribe.